The Red Birch, built in 1965, services 306 buoys in the Chesapeake Bay. With a steel-reinforced hull, Red Birch is often called on to conduct ice-breaking duties. The 5 officers and 28 enlisted personnel provide critical convoy supports to commercial vessels transiting the ice. Sometimes buoys are worked by crew members from small boats in good weather. Red Birch is home ported in Baltimore, Maryland.
In the fall of 1993, the Red Birch crew renovated historic Assateague Lighthouse. They saved the Coast Guard over $100,000 in contract cost. The 142-foot lighthouse and oil shed were completely repainted, and a new roof was placed on the shed.
After an enjoyable fall, the winter in 1994 was the worst ice storm the Red Birch had seen since the winter of 1977. Big stabs of ice flowed down the shipping channel, and just when the ice was starting to melt, frigid new temperatures and ice returned with a vengeance. The crew of the Red Birch had worked almost non-stop during the climax of the winter. The Red Birch had kept maritime traffic channels flowing. Due to the long hours, crew members rotated their positions frequently to gain a rest from the cold. We rescued 4 icebound vessels, convoyed 5 vessels through the ice-blocked channels. We convoyed a barge hauling critical heat oil for Maryland's eastern shore, arriving 10 hours before they ran out. Another additional challenge had been restoring the buoys. Enormous chunks of ice were moving the buoys like driftwood on the open ocean.
Not all of the buoys on Chesapeake Bay are steel. Some of the phone buoys were literally torn apart by the ice, and the Red Birch crew had to stop and pick up the pieces as they found them. The regular buoy hulls, which had not been replaced with an ice buoy, were literally pushed under by the ice, or they had snow collect in the cages. It was difficult driving for the conning officers because the buoys often moved around in the ice. After getting the buoy alongside, the crew first had to break ice and snow off of the buoy before it could ever be hooked. Bringing the buoy on board was especially difficult during the ice season. The buoy you see before you, which weighs approximately 11,000 pounds, had an additional 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of ice. After breaking the ice off with an axe or large hammers, the buoy could be lifted and pulled across the deck. It was a very dangerous evolution because it was difficult to gauge the movement of the ship. The computer screen in front of you now tells you that lighted buoy 15 in the Severn River is off station. It has been dragged approximately 75 yards in the ice. First, the crew must ready the equipment before the buoy is brought aboard and then relocated to its proper position. Lighted buoy 15 had a 7,000-pound cement block attached to it. After the buoy was secured on deck, the conning officer maneuvered the ship, got the buoy to its proper position, and gave the command to set the buoy back in the water. This was one of 160 aids that the crew worked in an 8-week period during the winter of 1994.